The answer is take the win and run.
I get hung up on certain things.
I have OCD, Jake.
I mean, hi guys, my name's Jeff. I'm an equal opportunity lover. You guys know that.
But wouldn't the dog want to stay on the meat wagon?
We say you can convince the dog to hop off.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm intelligent.
That's such a Jeff answer right there.
He's handsome, curly-haired, and Jewish, sitting right here.
Jeff, you are a golden retriever.
Hey, Jake, that's what you kids call that drip, right?
It was good despite the gastric consequences, but call me the crystal ball here, man. I'm getting everything right except my own picks. That's really, to me, a battle of two of the coaches with the best hair.
Welcome to the E Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Founded in 2013, the EHL is your next step on the path to college. Over the past decade, the EHL has established itself as the college placement leader on the East Coast. And now, here's your host, the commissioner of the Eastern Hockey League, Neil Ravin.
Thanks, Jim. And with that, let's bring in Jeff and Jake. Guys, how we feeling this morning? This is an early start for us.
Feeling good. Long day ahead. I think we're all excited to be here. Commish, Jake, you.
Ditto. Well said, Jeff, as always.
Have you guys noticed the new, maybe this isn't new, maybe I'm just recognizing it. When you go to the weather app on your phone, if the day is forecast to have snow, you can now scroll down and it tells you how much snow you're going to get.
I've not used the weather app yet.
Okay.
I have not noticed that, Neil.
So Jeff, let's play the game. Go to Sunday, right? Go to Sunday. Click on.
Can I play?
Yeah, play the game. Of course.
Okay.
You're allowed to play too.
I see it. Precipitation totals right there.
Yeah. What does it say?
4.95 inches.
Oh, that's how much you're gonna get. Oh,
yeah,
you're ready.
0.65 inches of rain. How much you getting, boy?
So 12. So I go to Sunday. And it
Oh my
says
God.
12 to 14 inches of snow.
12 to 15. Holy jumping, dude.
Yikes.
Like,
Yikes. That's pouring snow.
I don't need a foot of snow right now. Okay,
That's way too big. That's scary big.
And
Dude.
Three is plenty.
And like this
That'll do the job, right?
This isn't Ravin's rants, right? But this is like a sub rant. I love being from Maine and New England, but I don't need a foot of snow. Like, I don't need that.
Yeah, so this is a prequel. Rack it up, baby. Neil loves prequels.
Oh, and on that note, we'll start going around the E Show.
Let's take a look at what's going on around the E Show.
And where I want to start this week, and potential preview of the title, maybe not, records, right? So yesterday, Alex Koenig picked up another shutout. Now, I do have to say, he only had to stop 12 shots, right? That is a...
Is he a shutout of the year?
Did he even bring a sweat yesterday, Jake?
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he was kicking his feet up half the time in goal.
He could have faced more shots in warmups.
He definitely faced more shots.
Did he have that stance that we love where the goalie just puts their arm like this on the crossbar and just chills?
I don't think he did that.
And this is not a shot at the Bandits, who have beaten the Express twice this season.
In the new year. Yes.
So clearly this was an Express team that was extra motivated for this game. So I began this segment up talking about records. Can Koenig set the record? Let's start first for shutouts in a regular season. He has 8. The record is 10. Can he get 3 more?
It'll be really tight, but I say yes.
Is that strength schedule looking down the stretch? Let's
pull it up, Jeff. That's a great point. Let's do it, right? And there's
couple against the Eagles.
Comes down to
Wizards, Wolves, Providence. 1 Wizards today, so it's tough.
Those Wolves, Providence. Well, that's a collar right there. Shutouts.
Seahawks again. So.
Ooh, okay.
And the question, I guess, what we have to watch and see is are they going to continue to balance him and Toth to keep him fresh?
Well, I'm pretty sure Alex is going today.
Back to back.
Yeah.
Oh,
we haven't seen that in a while.
No, but I think it happened once earlier in the season in a situation where Alex didn't face a ton of pucks in the first game. So,
okay, if Nathan Miller, who's fresh off being named NEHC Goalie of the Week last week at Babson College, yes, if he is listening yes, we're talking about your single season record of 10 shutouts. In terms of the all-time record, which Miller has 18 shutouts, I don't know if Koenig could catch that with 9 more shutouts between now and we'll say it when the trophy gets handed out, because it could be them, right? I mean, if he was to collect 9 more shutouts between now and April 12th, you could probably say that's because the Express winning the championship, right?
Yeah.
Rename the league, a couple trophies too if he does that. I don't know. What? 9 shutouts down the stretch? Like, what is that?
Well, and that would include playoffs too, right? But
True.
And we have to also factor in, if they face the Wizards in the playoffs this season, they will play a multi-overtime game. Okay, that's happened the last 2 years. So we have to actually put that in our plans this year.
Get your coffee ready.
Yes. So there's another record that I want to get to that I know Jake is excited about, but it's in the EHLP. So we're going to just wait for that for a second.
Oh, I know what we're talking about.
Jeff, did you see the look of like confusion and then like, I got it, like, yes, I'm happy now?
Yeah, and I just slid over to that page. I see a guy that's number 3 that Jake knows kind of well.
Very, very well.
Talked about a few times this year.
Very
That's
well.
why he's the GOAT.
Listen, we're gonna get into a conversation in my rant about the GOAT here, Jake. Don't beat me to it, all right?
Okay.
But the Express, obviously, big game with the Wizards today. They still have 1 game in hand on the Wizards and a 7-point lead. Like, you can make the case if the Express win today, like, you could stamp the number 1 seed in that division in all likelihood, right?
Brings that conversation back, though, guys, that we talked about earlier. Do you want to have that dominating of a record against them going in? Do you want to see an L? Jake, I know you don't. Coach Code, I'm sure you don't, but
I see he's playing Koenig back to back. I don't think he's trying to lose.
I would say yes. I'd say the opposite answer. I would say he's trying not to. No.
So, but I do want to ask one more question here, just to get the wheels spinning a little bit, because the Seahawks are probably one of the hottest teams right now in the EHL with the climb that they've gone on. There's the sweatshirt, Jeff. And
to do it for him.
What has begun this recent stretch was the acquisition of Cade Chapman. But then in recent weeks, Jake's boy Isaac has been playing arguably better than he has all season long.
Yeah.
First playoff game today. If you're the coaches, Jeff, you can be Mike. No, you have the beard. So you can be Bill Zanaboni, and Jake, you can be Mike Richard. And I'll be Corey Ellerton just eating the food in the back, right? He's going to love that. Who are we starting in net?
Hey, Xander, the big bucks. I mean, Isaac's a
this is a toss-up now. Like,
it is, but Isaac's your 2-year guy.
Agreed.
You know, he's won 4 in a row. Didn't finish the season the way they wanted to last year, so it's kind of, do you let Isaac cook and get some revenge? I don't know. That's why I hate these goalie splits, because it's when it comes to that time. I mean, yeah, Isaac's won 4 in a row, and like you said, Chapman's been great. I know I got him in fantasy this month. That's why I picked him. I had a feeling he was going to stay on his heater and he was going to do some good things. But I think if you ask me straight out and I have to answer, I guess Isaac.
Yeah. Well, he's the head coach, Jake. So like, I think we have to digress to him.
That's fine.
I want to know what Jake thinks.
Well, I'm not nearly as good looking as Mike Richard, but I'll try my best here. I don't know. I think like my heart says Isaac right now. Head says Cade.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously something to keep an eye on in the East Division is the Seahawks now with 2 games in hand. They've closed the gap to 3 points on the Eagles. So they have a chance to get up to that 3 seed. Eagles still 10 points ahead of the Bandits. Seahawks 7 points ahead. So the Bandits have to get a little hot here down the stretch. They have 9 games remaining in order to avoid missing the playoffs in that division.
Good job, though, by Coach Zanaboni to realize that, you know, not only did Isaac need a breath, but maybe needed a little push too.
Yeah.
So that's huge credit to him for bringing Chapman in over from the Boston Junior Rangers. And Chapman's been light and day. He's been way better over here with the Seahawks than he was with the Rangers. 6'2", 1-1. So credit to him too. He's found some second gear of development in his age out year. Kid from Minnesota, still looking for a college home. So it's what we're all here for, developing hockey players, and he's developing really well in the Cape.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I just want to make one note that before the December showcase, I said the Seahawks were coming.
You did. Yeah, you did say that.
You did.
I did say that.
Yes.
JKP, baby. JKP.
That stands for Jake Knows Puck, for those that are trying to figure that out very quickly. To the North Division we go, and I know that there's still, for a couple of the teams, they have 10 games left. The Avalanche, they have 9. The Lumberjacks, they have 8. But where these teams currently slot in, it almost feels like it's in pen. Like, you follow what I'm saying? Like, it's almost locked in. Do you guys get the same sense?
With the game count the way it is, most of those teams, 10 games left. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it looks like the Dukes, have played some better hockey in spurts, but 12 points behind Valley. Not sure they're going to hit that 4 spot. And then, like you said, then with the Lumberjacks now, it's 16 points behind the Wolves. Wolves 10 points behind the Avs. Yeah, I think you can pretty much write that in pen, Neil and Jake. I don't think there's going to be too much more movement from here on out, but prove us wrong. Someone goes on a run.
I agree. But I am excited for Wolves Lumberjacks. That'll be a damn good series because those two have traded wins in opposing buildings, right? Like they've won in the wrong building.
Yeah.
So that's going to make playoffs even more unpredictable between those two teams.
And as often as, say, the Little Flyers have faced the 87s in the South Division playoffs, it feels like an annual event. Lumberjacks versus Wolves in the North Division playoffs too.
The last couple of years, we've had more so Spartans and Wolves.
True.
Since I've been here,
Yeah. Prior to that, I guess.
I'll tell you that.
Prior to the Jake era, if you will.
The Jake era. I like that.
Yeah. Not like anything to do with Taylor Swift, but regardless.
The Jake Iris tour.
To the Central Division we go. Did the Rough Riders hear us talking about how the Apple Corps were gaining a little ground and just said, no, we're going to win these next 2 and really kind of, again, not in pen quite yet, but almost in pen, close up that last spot?
And a 6-1 win over HCRI yesterday. That's maybe
Dominance.
one of their best wins of the year? Question mark?
I think it's the best win of the year, right?
Has to be, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good team. I mean, you look at the way the top teams in the league have played them. Like, Avs beat them 2-0. Express beat them 2-1. The Horses come in and they stomp it. So, I mean, that's a commanding win for them, and it's a good confidence booster.
Heike Porter with they have a great player of the game. Have you seen their helmet that they wear? That's older than my dad's joke.
Sometimes the strap is a little tight, though.
Yeah,
and squeezes the face.
And Brownie likes to go really in tight with the face, like it's always just right in front of you.
Handsome boys, he's like, hey, take a look at him.
Yeah.
47 saves for Porter. That's a heck of a start.
Great game for him. And you could kind of make the case that what I just said in the North Division as well. The way these teams slot right now, it's almost kind of in place. The same 4 teams. Now, Apple Corps still have 9 games left, so a possible 18 points, but that's an 11-point gap between them and the Rough Riders, so they'd have to get really hot really fast on the stretch here. Wrap it up
with the Rough Riders. That might have saved their season. The last 2 games, a couple of wins, so good for them.
It definitely did. To the South Division, as Jake, loves to dub the months of November and December, they didn't play well in those months, but they played great in January and February so far. So should we just rearrange the calendar for them?
I mean, what is February? I actually want to know.
He can't.
Do we have something? Do we have something for the people, Jake?
Oh wait, I know. I was not prepared for this one. No.
Wow, the first time he's not been ready for something like that, Jeff.
He's like,
record this.
My apologies, my boy.
But
to never put you on the spot like that. You can't just
taken back control of the South. The 87s still have a game in hand and a huge matchup today at Jersey Shore. The Bears just shut out the 87s 2 days ago at home. Now it's in the 87s home building. We'll find out from Anthony and Chris if it's the red, white, or blue rink. That's always we're always waiting for the Twitter video for that. But if the Bears win today, do you feel confident, especially if it's in regulation, do you feel confident saying that almost locks in the 1 seed for them?
I think so. I would say so. Again, it's that point in the year, with the game counts the way they are, that yeah, I think that it would be a lot closer to completing that goal. 5 points up on New Jersey. Yeah, I'd say so.
And I don't think they face each other again here. I think this
I
is
was
the
just gonna
last
say I was
time.
I
trying
think
to
this is the
look.
last
I think it
one.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
It's
if
the
this
seventh meeting. Yep. 1, 2, 3,
if
4,
this
5, 6,
is
7.
the final preview of the South Division Finals, like that will be a very good series.
3 1-goal games this year. 2 for the 87s, 1 for the Bears as far as wins. A
Yeah.
couple of weird blowouts, 8-4, 5-0 in favor of the 87s, and then like you said, Bears shut New Jersey out 3-0. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag with those guys for the season series.
You gotta like. I'm just hoping the Bears are wondering if the Bears can do it in the playoffs. I mean, we knew that they had a tough second half last year, right? Like that was a thing that not to pat my own back here, but I'm pretty flexible. I'll do it.
Oh jeez.
I said that they were going to have a pretty good new year and they weren't going to follow the same trend as last year. Now I need them to do that in the playoffs too.
Yes.
So I'm feeling Bears.
Are you bearing down? You bearing
I'm
down?
bearing down. Yeah.
He's bearing down.
Yeah.
Got it. Love it.
In the past few episodes, we have been hyping and I think for good reason the Philadelphia Hockey Club, but they've lost 3 straight. The Huntsmen have gotten hot. The Little Fires have won 3 straight. Where are we at with the bottom of this division? Not the bottom, the 3 through 5.
The final date of the season, Commission. You'll find out.
Like,
no need. You'll be at the showcase.
well, and remember, at the showcase, they're not playing each other, so
right.
It's going to be very interesting to see who they're matched up with and what those matchups mean for those teams, right? I mean, I guess let's just read them off so we have it right now, right? So Philly Hockey Club. I know one matchup off the top of my head.
Oh yeah.
So they play the Dukes, Bandits, and Providence. You could make the case, again, Dukes and Bandits can get really hot here down the stretch, but the Dukes and Bandits could potentially be eliminated by that point, and Providence could already have the number 1 seed clinched. So just keep that in mind, okay? Huntsmen at the showcase face the Dukes also, Seahawks, who could be playing for that potential 3rd versus 4th seed swap, and the Apple Corps, who also could potentially be eliminated. Then you go to...
We're going to be fighting for the playoff spot on the last game of the last day of the year.
Yeah. And then the Little Flyers face the Capitals, Wolves, and Rough Riders, who all could be locked into exactly their spots at that point. So it's kind of a wash when you look at the schedules. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I look at it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Strength of schedule goes like Little Flyers have the toughest with those first 2 games. Okay, like if just on paper,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I think these next few games ahead of it are more important. I agree. Because they're probably predominantly 4-point games. But I think with the way these teams trade wins, we are going to see a little Valley and Vermont just in the South this year.
Ooh, come down to the last day.
Exactly.
They'll play the 87s before they start the showcase too, so there's another toughie.
Ooh. I mean, just look at the records. They all PHC has 19 wins, Huntsman 17, Little Flyers 16, regulation losses 16, 16, 17. If you combine overtime losses with shootout losses, they each have 3. I mean, they're like 3 of the same teams. They've had those good moments, they've had those bad moments, and they all want to be peaking at the perfect time here down the stretch. So it's going to be really, really interesting to watch. Jake, are you ready for EHLP record chasing?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So we tease this because, as Jake loves to dub him, everyone's favorite EHLP captain, Zach Spakuza, right? So he has 139 all-time points, okay? So that's regular season and postseason. This is going to sound like a big number, but could he get 36 more points between the regular season and postseason and become the all-time leading scorer in EHLP history? I know that's crazy, but these Wolves forwards are averaging like 3 points a game, basically.
Say he's had many how many 5-point games has he had this year? It's hard to count quick, but I mean he's had a lot of 3-point games. So you see when you click on his sheet, 4-point games. 5 he's had once. So yeah, you just need a couple of hat tricks of points. 3, 4, 4, get some chunks here. I think he can absolutely do it.
Just the
If for
light day
Jake.
at the office for Zach Spikuza.
I mean, he's got 7 regular season games left, right? In all likelihood, they are the 1 seed in their division, so they'll have a first round and a second round to get out of the North. So a minimum of 4 games, a max of 6, right? Then you get the same thing with the regional finals and frozen finals. So if you want to find a middle, right? Say they play 10 postseason games and 7 regular season games. You're talking about 17 possible games, 2 points per game. If he gets a couple 4-point games in there, I mean, this
cooking.
Jake is envisioning in his head right now like a Zach Spikuza championship clinching overtime winner, all-time
as he breaks the
scorer.
record.
Yes.
Yeah.
Juicy. There better be some kind of ceremony too.
Like my life would never get better. Like I wouldn't like go to sleep that night. I'm like, this is the peak.
Wait, Jake, hold on. I'm gonna build this moment for you. Does AJ Lackas come from Albertus Magnus to help do some presentation with you with Zach Spikuza on social media? Some kind of trophy, maybe.
You need to relax. It's 8:15, okay?
I'm all fired up.
We're gonna have to cut the Flow Hockey cameras, Jeff, because they're gonna be doing like the team's gonna be mobbing the ice for the OT celebration, and Jake is gonna go over the boards at Providence and be in the pile. No gear on. A little dangerous, just to say, but yes.
Yeah.
And by that point, the ice will be so chopped up. I'll be good.
True. But we bring it up because while the number 36 sounds like a huge total to get to, it's possible.
I just looked. He just had a 9-point weekend at the end of January. So
he's also like very favorable to beat the assist record.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that next. So the
that would be nice for him to do that at the showcase.
Yeah, the assist record, I think that would be like a minus 5,000 odds at this point because he's only 4 assists away from tying the record. So I mean, he gets that like in a shift, in an easy first shift. So
and he's gonna pass an old wolf too, Herbert Zybots. I remember that name.
Yep. I think he's actually coaching with them right now too.
Yes, he's I've definitely seen him throughout this year.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yes. So but also keep an eye on Cole Davidson as well. He's at 131 career points, 8 behind Zach Spikuza. He just came off a hat trick last night. Those are the fun ones to add to fantasy.
Wolves Thunder game. Do you guys see every time they play, someone scores 9 goals? It's insane. 9-7 Wolves over Thunder on Saturday. And Davidson, just a cool 2 goals, 3 assists. No big deal. Just walks in, produces.
I like this like whole Spikuza focus segment. We should do this.
We're also including Davidson too because we have to, like, because he's not really that far behind. I'm just
no, he's not, and he's excellent.
And he's 16 goals. Sorry, he's 26 goals behind Ivan Borisov for the goal record. So again, would have to be
he could climb into top 3 though. He can climb into top 3.
Historic goals per game case, right? But
and Cam Plum just raised his hand and said, "Boys, I lead the entire EHLP in points with 71 of them. 34 goals, 37 assists. Where's my pub?"
So great transition here, Jeff. Right? Cam Plum, Zach Spikuza, Cole Davidson, Charles Etienne Waugh, Bradley Parker. Who's the MVP?
I'm out. Hold that door open. I'm not.
You want me to take this one?
I know what you want to say, Jake. Right? But like,
you want me to take this one, boys?
But do we factor in goals? Right? He's more the playmaker as the assist guy.
He's the exactor of that team. Okay. He is the exactor. There's nobody better. There's nobody better in the P show. I don't. There's no one better. I don't care. He's number 1.
Okay.
Plum's doing it both though. Plum's sniping and distributing. 34 goals, 37 assists. I mean,
that's 5 a lot of heavy lifting. Like The craziest part, right? This is again quick math on the podcast, Jeff. Always dangerous,
Bugger
right?
Mass taught us this years ago. Don't do that.
Those 5 guys have a combined 23 game-winning goals. Like
Much,
that's a little silly.
I'd say.
So, but that's your North Division update. Wolves still out in front. I think I have to actually change the symbol on their standings here.
They clinched.
Yes, because the Avalanche again. This is quick math in the podcast. Avalanche have 7 games left for a max of 14 points. They can't catch the Wolves. So the Wolves, I apologize. I need to put a symbol there. They have clinched the number 1 seed in their division. So, but
61. Wolves already at 62. Done. Woo.
Jake brought this up with the in the EHL, Valley at 3, Adirondack at 4, Vermont at 5. Like these teams have also won games against the Avs and the Wolves, who are the 1 and 2 seeds. This isn't a walk in the park postseason run incoming for the top teams. Like this is going to be a battle to get out of the.
And I just watched the Lumberjacks, and I think like a big factor for them is that they play in the toughest division.
Yes.
So their 12 wins are against, a good in good percentage are the Avalanche, the Warriors, the Thunder. They've beaten the Wolves, but they're also getting beat by them because they're so good. But that Vermont team is solid, and they have a good amount of guys who have shared time at both levels, which come the playoffs could make things either harder on them or easier on them depending on who sticks around. We saw that in the P last year, like guys got sent down, and that helped out the championship team from last year. Yes. So I think that could very well happen with the Lumberjacks this year. And I just got to watch them on Sunday. We did not get snowed out, thankfully, and they're good.
Yeah,
they're good.
For sure. To the East Division we go, and this is where I transition the conversation to what we've talked about previously with that at large, right? Capitals are leading the division with 41 points. Then the Seahawks right there with 39. So every point is critical, even if you don't end up as the number 1 seed in your division, because if you're that highest point total of the division losers, right? I mean, look at this from the Seahawks perspective. If the division finals end up being, call it Wolves versus Adirondack, say per se, like the Seahawks are then above Adirondack at this point. So every point is absolutely critical down the stretch here. And then in the South Division, if we're going to talk about putting a symbol next to the first place team, 87's about to get that as well, because they're 2 points away.
4. What a year they're having.
Oh, historic.
Talks a lot about the Wolves, but yeah, the 87's are
like hello,
quite a year too.
We've lost the same number of regulation games. We just have played 2 fewer games so far, right?
Nice. Wolves didn't chirp us about that last week when he came on for his interview.
Yeah, well,
yeah, they're right there.
We were more focused on other things, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Busy day.
Yes.
Big news.
So interesting races, obviously, in both divisions, and in fantasy as well. So let's start talking about fantasy in the Fantasy Challenge.
Now it's time for the E-Show Fantasy Challenge. Follow along on the EHL app. Available now for free on both Apple iOS and Android.
As we usually do, we start with our Yahoo League first, but not much to say there because, the NHL is on this 2-week break now, and our current matchup, guys, like it goes. I was looking at like the total number of games my guys play in this current matchup, and it's 62 because this matchup goes through March 2nd. So this is like a month.
You're talking EHL or you're talking Yahoo?
I'm talking the Yahoo League, right? Did you see that? Like because
my numbers looked weird.
Well, because there's 2 weeks off, and then like the teams like gradually get back into action. To make it fair, we had to stretch out the matchup. So like all the way until March 2nd, I'm just facing Ted, and I get to look at every day how he has a record of 5-11-2. Like
I get Ryan. Great. A nice playoff team. I'm 8-10, sinking like a ship. Thanks for beating me with Merchenko on your IR last week, Chris Sorello. That's a new low for me. Thanks, Igor Shesterkin, for getting hurt again.
Yeah, so midweek. You should do the Chris laugh right now for beating you.
This is so Jeff. F you, Chris. Damn it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Love you, though.
Well, he didn't
Whoa,
say he
what?
didn't say the word. No need to bleep. No need to bleep.
Yeah, no need to bleep.
This isn't 7 years ago.
That was the whole Brittany Hart goal horn. Beep.
But as I always say, Jeff, with your
If you means forget you guys. Hello.
yeah, of course.
Family show.
And with your 8-10 team, it may be time for you to make the pivot.
I've been pivoting, Neil. I've been pivoting. Super Bowl was a little funky one. Did a lot of prop bets, but guess what? The NHL season has been as predictable as a puck rolling on its edge. No one knows where it's going. That just means there's time for your favorite team to figure things out and games left for you to get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first timers to get started. So try betting on something simple like picking a team just to win. Just a straight up money line. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 of bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Do you have a gambling problem? If so, you can call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, you can call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. There, you can call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void that if you're in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets to expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/audio. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. NHL and NHL team marks are the property of the NHL and its teams. NHL 2025, all rights reserved.
So maybe this is an advertisement for a gambling problem. But we're gonna, before we get to EHL, speaking of DK Sportsbook, right? People don't do this. Maybe they do. I don't know. Got a few bucks. You just toss it at the Super Bowl, make an 18 leg parlay that's never gonna hit, but then you hit 15 of the legs. Dude, what? I looked down how much of the game, and I'm like, how did I hit 15 of these? Like but one of the funniest ones, Jeff, that I missed. Okay. Harrison Butker to score a point.
I saw someone did you see the one? I saw one of those memes. I meant to send it to you on Instagram the other day. Someone bet $2,200 to win $100 that Butker was going to get 1 point and they lost. They were like, "That sure." They're like,
okay,
what
listen,
an easy hundo. Why are you betting $2,200 to win 100?
I'm talking about I'm talking about $5 here. Okay, like that's just like play around, like you $5 on the couch, right? I didn't do that.
That's mortgage.
That's gambling problem, right?
That is called HOPENY.
I guess Butker probably could have just stayed home with the family and the kids and stuff and just taking care of the home.
Right? Like, speaking of like breaking a sweat, like, does that guy take a post-game shower? You didn't do anything.
Probably not. Arma's, you know what? I don't know.
Yes.
Sorry, Butker.
I totally agree. But
maybe he should go make a sandwich. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah. People that don't know what you're talking about, Jeff should just look up his name and you can make your opinion of that guy very quickly. Yeah. We all feel a certain way, right? So we go to the EHL fantasy next. Another current active player in first place, guys.
Brennan Nee.
No, well, Nee's in second place.
He shifted. Klee. Sorry, I got to update. Hold on, you updated. I didn't update. And
have you kept the tab open but haven't refreshed it since last Thursday?
No, I thought I looked at it yesterday. Did you do these yesterday? Because I could have sworn I was.
Yeah, no, I did it last night. Night.
Okay. Yes. I was a lot higher than I was. Yeah, no, 40. Cool.
Guys, I
slipped all the way down to 44.
There's a problem though. I'm the only one whose Alex Koenig is at 0. What the hell is that about?
Oh, we found a glitch.
I'd be in 31st right now. I'd be climbing.
Yeah, I see Alex Koenig's with 8.4 and Jake has 0.
Everybody else has Alex Koenig 8.4, but Jake has 0. This does not bode well for our cheating allegations. This does not bode well.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, I may start crying.
I know Chase is probably at daycare right now, but I'll just fill it in for him.
Yeah, Chase loves the It is so funny that yours is the only one that has 0. Everyone else has
fantasy
8.4.
It's crazy. How does that even happen?
So Jake, just so we can do this math again on the air, you would go from 46th place to 30th
to 31st. Yeah,
so much better than me. Take that, buddy. Take it and run.
No, that's legit.
Where's Sergei Sherbakov right now? I'd like to know. 0 points. Ryan Arendi's 3. Oh,
Yeah.
my team not having the best month. This,
So just to
this
go-
is sad.
Miles got me 5 yesterday. Mike D is hurt, which is just great.
Why don't,
It's
you,
just
why,
great.
don't, why don't you change your pick?
You can get a lot of points on the IR.
Well, I guess we still have a lot of time left.
We do.
Yeah, and he's got 6 points in his last 6
Yeah.
games. I'm like,
Oh, Jake,
yeah.
I saw Burback scored the other day, and I was like, I thought of you immediately.
I was
texted
there.
me, he goes,
Oh, that's
I was-
right. That was the game you were at. Oh no! He's like pointing at you, like that was for you. I'm not on my team anymore.
Jeff, he texted me and goes, the audacity of this kid to score with me in attendance.
Is that his 10th goal of the year too? He's just ever since Jake had it, it's like I feel free. It's like he committed.
Oh my god. But
Fresh after his
anyways,
commitment.
Kai
God.
and Clee in first place, Brendan Nee in second place. Patrick Johnston just won't go away in fantasy, guys. Like he just won't
He's
go
so
away.
good.
Patrick Johnston knows
he
puck.
is
He
he
knows
is inevitable
puck.
this season in fantasy. Daniel Crew in fourth, Justin's in fifth. I'm in sixth.
Showing Steve Basile in 9th.
Yeah.
They're still there. Mikey in 11th.
They're in contention.
So just
Look at that. Look at
They're in
that sandwich.
contention.
Michelle and Steve Basile, Caden Clegg and Mike Basile. Caden Clegg in the middle
Kate
of a
Blake's like
Basile
this.
sandwich.
This is amazing. So
He's looking up and down like, oh, okay, all right.
some of the
got it.
points so far, I touched on Cole Davidson. It's February 13th, and he has 34 fantasy points so far in this final month, and it's an extended month. Remember,
That is cracked.
I'm still laughing because Kading's been 0 points for you. Bradley Parker 25, Daniel Kroon 23. We've talked about Brendan Nee 36.2 so far. Cam Wickens a pair of wins this week, got him up to 24.8. Cross Sherman 20.4. Still tons of time to go in fantasy. Oh, okay, we can update things on the fly here. Jake is now in 32nd place. We just fixed it. Okay, the system has been corrected.
Yeah.
Ah,
you
but
know,
that's-
it was a snub that we should have picked, and I'm wearing a Seahawks shirt, so it probably should have been me. Danny Kehoe. I looked
Yeah.
up, I think it's 11 points his last 5 games. What the? Damn it. Overanalyzing.
Jeff is gonna have so many what ifs in fantasy when the season is over.
Oh, dude, that's the worst part of fantasy. You look back, especially when you do the season long, you look at the draft, you're like, I drafted who, where? Oh, cool. This guy came out of nowhere 3 rounds later, ended up being a top 10 guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go to DraftKings. It's a much better spot to live.
Yes, and now we'll go to what to watch for, which I'm gonna kick off with Ravin's rants.
And now here's what to watch for in the EHL and the EHLP.
Obviously, I was rather ecstatic over the result of the game on Sunday night. And I understand that the reason for my happiness has nothing to do with the Eagles winning, but it has all to do with the Chiefs losing. Okay? And any bum
at the
that
top of
calls
that
in the 98.5, which is the sports station up here, to complain that Patriots fans are overreacting to the game can shut up, because we have every right to be protective of what we watched for 2 decades growing up. Jeff, agree or disagree? Like we could be
Well said.
protective, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Uh-huh.
the next
Brady
thing,
never got blown out.
the next
Just
thing,
saying.
correct? Yeah, Brady's
That's not twice.
Brady's 3 Super Bowl losses add up to a combined point differential of minus 15.
Well, you did the math already. I love this.
Please, I have screenshots ready to go, Jeff. I was ready for this one.
You got your
okay?
pen, your paper.
Well, and then this bum who's losing 40-6, then gets 2 touchdowns in garbage time to make it look good for himself, right? Then his wife, who doesn't shut up and sprayed everyone with champagne a few years ago, comes out and starts blaming the refs. Why don't you name your kids something other than Sterling, Bronze, and Golden? Like, come on, let's come up with better names than that, right? And then just to continue, DeAndre Hopkins, right? I don't. A lot of people
Retired.
A lot of people watch the Super Bowl for the commercials and the halftime show and whatnot. I like the actual game. Dude, you dropped the biggest pass to potentially get the momentum going back in your favor. And then you come out and say, what about all the touchy calls? You idiot. The Eagles still had more penalties than the Chiefs. Even though the refs finally made it look more normal, you could say, you still didn't fact check yourself when you came out and said that. Any of us could have been in that exact situation with 20 yards of space and just caught the ball in our hands.
shot.
It,
There wasn't a single
mean,
person. Right?
it looked like he had alligator arms trying to catch it. So I just laugh like the only guy that actually has come out from, we'll call it that side of this, and it's like owned up for the loss, surprisingly, is Kelsey. Like he's just come out and said, like, I didn't play well, I let my team down, etc., etc., etc. Everybody else, like this
This is
whole like
cruise control. Oof. Some of the plays of Kelsey blocking or trying to block.
Yes.
What was that?
like what are you gonna say now about the refs? They tried. They honestly tried. The first call of the game was so egregious. I went crazy in the group text. You guys saw it, right? Like the offensive pass interference. Like the refs tried, and then immediately they thought, "Oh my god, we can't do anything in this game because they're not even on the same level." So I was so ecstatic that finally the fraudulent 24-25 Chiefs got exposed on national television. And like Jim Murray said on 98.5, Jeff, I'll watch it again because it was awesome. I was punching air the entire night. So I'll get off my soapbox now.
That was a good one, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was
excellent.
like, just like enough with this conversation that they're on the same level. And I know that you're a Giants fan and you could say Brady lost to Manning, and 1,000% he did twice. But at least in those games, he led in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
It was 34-0 on Sunday night.
Like the blink of an eye.
It was a stomping.
It was bad.
And he was on the sideline
And I was
dapping up some guys, but not other guys on this team. Do you see that one? He skipped guys. Like, be a leader, dude. Be a leader.
Don't be a loser.
Yeah,
win the class, lose a class.
Yeah, you're Kermit the Frog. Go away. All right, I'm done.
So good. That was better than I thought.
Well, I think you wanted to have a rant too. Is it about your Yahoo team?
No, it's actually a random one. I guess it makes sense with the snow coming. I was driving yesterday and I'm like, oh, this would be a good one for the rant for the podcast. If you are driving your car and it snowed, but it snowed like 3 days before and you still have snow in your car and you're driving and it's falling off your car onto other people's cars, go play in the left lane. Like get out of your car, just run in the left lane and get hit.
That's illegal.
Ridiculous.
That's illegal. First off, you're breaking the law.
Yeah, it is. But like people do it all the time. And someone did yesterday. I was like, it snowed like 3 days ago. This guy still got snow on the top of his car and it's coming down. And I'm like, what the F is going on? So just clean your damn cars off. And then also the amount of people going like 50 in the left lane up here recently is like breaking my brain. I drive a ton, as you guys know, for work. Jake, actually, we all do. Minus Justin, who works from home. But seriously, the amount of people driving like 51 in the left lane is the fast lane. Go to the middle, go to the right, get the F out of the left lane. Yes, F is for forget, like we said with Coach Sorella. Get the forget out of the left lane and get over. All right, I think I'm good.
Anything you want to get off your chest now, Jake? I mean, I feel
so
good.
I mean, I feel great.
Wow. I mean, maybe when I get to my old age, I'll have like you guys, I'll have more to complain
That's
about.
what this is. It's the old man's corner.
No, but watching 10 minutes of 3-on-3 last night in the Four Nations has me thinking, man.
Jake's
to see Nathan McKinnon on the ice like 7 different times in overtime. Like how does the NHL watch that? And like I get it, not every team has Nathan McKinnon. Some teams have better players like Matt Barzal. I get that, but you still have like the potential of 10-minute 3-on-3 is so much more exciting than turning a hockey game into the dumbest one-on-one event in sports.
I'm gonna double down here because you just brought this up with Canada, right? And I'm sorry for stealing the spotlight back. And I know this goalie also beat a Boston team in the finals, right? But Canada, you are the nation that, the sport is hockey.
You created it.
Get a goalie.
Oh, I know. Bennington.
Stinks.
And he's probably the best. He's probably their best option.
It's like, who else is a goalie on Team Canada?
They brought Aiden Hill, who I know is on your fantasy team.
Oh, he's made of glass, though. He breaks like, oof.
And I think they brought
Hill's Canadian.
Who did they bring for the third guy? I don't even know who they brought for the third guy. Oh, Sam. I'm not gonna say it right. I'll mess this up.
Montembeau.
Yes, there you go. I don't want to say it like the Winnipeg defenseman.
Canadians goalie.
But like groom a goalie. You're Canada.
Yeah. How is there no good Canadian goalies?
Might as well bring Stuart Skinner next time. What? McDavid will be happy.
Oh,
Davo.
Anyways,
I know you got a big meeting later today, so maybe you could slide this in, a little 10-minute 3-on-3 for the E show.
Jason
Why
would
not?
come to the in-person meeting in May and be like, "Listen, I'm I'm out. 10-minute overtime. All right, I'm out."
Like that, I honestly you don't want to see Zach Spakuza cooking a 3-on-3 for like
But I don't know
7
if he
minutes.
would need 7 shifts, Jake.
Right, but we say that, but Canada needed 6 minutes with McCarr, McKinnon, and McDavid. And I get it, Zach's better than all three of those guys, but still pretty
Zach
sad.
is
Oh my
gonna,
God.
Zach is gonna pin
Zach
this
Spakusa.
episode and just be like, I need this. This is my wake up motivation every day.
So is he just gonna listen to this in the gym or in warmies now? He's just gonna be out there. McCarr, McKinnon, McDavid.
Yes.
Less than
But
Zach Spakuza.
But let's spin this for a second before we get to games to watch for Jeff. A positive out of the whole thing. It is to me.
Brad
kinda-
Marchand getting cheered by the Montreal fans.
Marchand gets cheered by Montreal and Marner gets cheered by Montreal, right? So seeing the best on best is cool, minus a huge injury for Justin's fantasy team with the broken wrist for Shea Theodore. Anyways, what to watch for first? The 12 inches of snow that we're about to get. I guess it's the fact that we get 12 and you get 4, Jeff, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. It says we're getting a little over half an inch of rain too, though. So we're in that area where it's like it's going to change from snow to rain. So
Yeah.
my street's going to be a hockey rink. That means it's going to go from snow to cold to rain.
You got a new
Ooh.
car, right?
I do. I have an SUV now, 2022
Yes.
Chevy Equinox. Love it.
Not that old girl.
No, the Ford is she got sent to the graveyard last year.
How many miles were on? How many miles were on that?
Dude. I almost got that thing to 300,000. I was so proud of that. I got it to 275, I think, 276.
Yeah.
When the brakes killed me or almost killed me.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah, literally. Speaking of driving in the right lane, I had to go all the way over to the right. I put my foot to the floor and it was like brake fluid level low, and I was like, oh God, this thing's smell you later. Turn that thing into a Flintstones car. I literally drove that thing into the ground. That's the goal.
Man. So we do have some EHL games coming up to watch for EHLP as well, with huge playoff implications. Again, keep an eye on the weather, keep an eye on the schedules. There could be cancellations here. I'll kick us off in the EHL, and I'll start today. That Bears 87s matchup is huge for who's going to be the number 1 seed in the South Division.
And let's go to the city of brotherly love, where they're still jumping up the flagpoles. Congratulations, Joe Sindoni. Philadelphia Little Flyers, Philadelphia Hockey Club, Friday at Hollydale. Hopefully nobody's jumping on the light posts outside of Hollydale.
Well, technically,
that's a huge game.
Hollydale is in New Jersey, so I think we're safe.
Oh, true. That's true.
Yes.
But only not a ton of points separating those teams. So let's see what happens there.
Yes.
I was gonna pick that one, but I will go with a nice little first round playoff preview on Saturday afternoon at Haverhill, Massachusetts. Avs Warriors.
That's a good one. That's good.
It was a 2-1 game last time.
To the EHLP we go. Monday. Monday is like a symmetry day for me, right? So again, getting off track for a second, that TGL league, the golf league that they started in Florida, Justin's home state, there's 3 matches on Monday, like 1, 4, and 7. And then in the EHLP, we have 2 double headers. It's like just a complete day of symmetry for me, Jeff.
What do you know?
Oh,
that OCD is going to be real.
It's just a
nice calm state.
Beautiful start to the week. And those double headers, so that people know, right? I should probably say that. It's Express versus Nor'easter down in Connecticut, Little Flyers versus Union in New Jersey.
Gonna be in Simsbury from like 12 to 10 on
They have
Monday.
a good snack bar. Yes.
They do.
All right, you guys.
Jake, I'll let you go since I just stole yours.
Wolves Avs. I'm going full.
Damn, that's literally what I was gonna pick. That's amazing.
Well, I mean,
We just
come
steal
on.
each other's.
What
I love
else was I? What else was I
Jake,
gonna
is there
pick?
a player
right?
you're keeping an eye on?
No, the
Cam Plum?
59 has always stood out to me.
Good player.
Jake, I did.
I'm just gonna double
Yes.
down and pick that because you gotta watch Zach Spakuza
Jake,
try
and
to
I
make
dare
history.
you the next time
Yeah.
you call a Wolves P game to call him number 59 one time. on the broadcast, because that will hurt. That will.
It's just infinitely frustrating that like Express played Wolves at home last year, and like somehow that just didn't fall through the crack this year. Like that hurts. Like I think about it, like I got around like 11:45 every night.
Yes.
Keeps you up.
Like what could have been.
Again, if you don't want to venture out in the storms this weekend, the games are always on Full Hockey. There's no Super Bowl this weekend, so I won't have a big rant next week. Unless they keep complaining that the refs were against the Chiefs, because then I may just go off again. But I digress.
Full off season. Here
we'll
it is. Alex Bregman, the Red Sox, baby.
And we'll talk next week, guys.
See you, boys. Enjoy the snow.
Thanks for listening to The E Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Learn more about us at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when our next podcast episode is released.